Hey everybody, it's Colleen, and today we're going to be doing my updated bookshelf tour. I just got this beautiful new baby for my 22nd birthday. I turned 22 on August 1st, which is the day after my second anniversary here on YouTube and BookTube. We're just gonna wade knee deep into the beauty that is my home library. So here's what my bookcases look like all together. I'm gonna be starting from down here and going across and then all the way down and then all the way down, you get it. And then over here is my TV stand where I've got all my comics and my graphic novels. So I've got my shelves arranged by author and then either by title and or series, and you'll catch on, it's pretty simple. The Oresteia by Aeschylus, The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, Mermaids, The Myths, Legends, and Lore by Skye Alexander, The Divine Comedy, Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso by Dante Alighieri, The Only Thing Worse Than Me Is You by Lily Anderson, Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson, Fairy Tales of Hans Christian Andersen, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jesse Andrews, 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, Selected Poems by W.H. Auden, Emma, Persuasion, Pride and Prejudice, and Sense and Sensibility, all by Jane Austen, the Grisha trilogy including Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo, Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, Lexicon by Max Barry, Night Owls by Jen Bennett, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne, Beauty Queens, and The Diviners, both by Libba Bray, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess, Weird Things Customers Say in Bookstores by Jen Campbell, The Selection, The Elite, The One, Happily Ever After, The Heir, and The Crown, all by Kira Cass, making up the Selection series. Greek Fiction, Callerho, Daphnis and Chloe, and Letters of Kion. I've got it under the first author, Sheraton. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. The Infernal Devices trilogy, made up of A Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and A Clockwork Princess, all by Cassandra Clare. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. The Hunger Games trilogy, starting with The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay, all by Suzanne Collins. Love Letters to the Dead by Ava DeLaria. The Vivian Apple duology, made up of Vivian Apple at the End of the World, and Vivian Apple Needs a Miracle, both by Katie Coyle. Along for the Ride, Just Listen, This Lullaby, The Truth About Forever, and What Happened to Goodbye, all by Sarah Dessen. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. Room by Emma Donoghue. The Bacchae and Other Plays by Euripides. The Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman. The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer. How to Read Literature Like a Professor, a lively and entertaining guide to reading between the lines, revised edition by Thomas C. Foster. Grendel by John Gardner. Holy Shit, The World's Weirdest Comics by Paul Grava and Peter Stanbury. The Fault in Our Stars, Let It Snow, Looking for Alaska, and Will Grayson by John Green. Other authors including Maureen Johnson, Lauren Miracle, and David Levithan. None of the Above by I.W. Gregorio. Greek Tragedies Volume 2 by David Green and Benjamin Lattimore. Myths and Legends of the Middle Ages by H.A. Geiber. Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm. A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall. Mythology by Edith Hamilton. Why We Broke Up by David Handler. The To All the Boys I've Loved Before duology, starting with To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. The Rebel Belle trilogy, starting with Rebel Belle, Miss Mayhem, and Lady Renegades by Rachel Hawkins. Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. Hunting for Witches, A Visitor's Guide to the Salem Witch Trials by Francis Hill. The Iliad and the Odyssey, both by Homer. Impulse by Ellen Hopkins. We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen. Irish Fairy and Folk Tales, no attributed authors, so by Ireland. Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. The Duff by Cody Keplinger. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. Ask the Passengers by A.S. King. Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. 21 Proms by various authors, edited by Daniel Earnhardt and David Levithan. Are We There Yet? Boy Meets Boy. Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, also by Rachel Cohn. Every Day, How They Met in Other Stories. The Lover's Dictionary. The Realm of Possibility. And Two Boys Kissing, all by David Levithan. Selected Poems by Henry W. Longfellow. The Giver by Lois Lowry. Rot and Ruin by Jonathan Mayberry. The Fangirl's Guide to the Galaxy, a handbook for geek girls by Sam Maggs. Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. A Constellation of Vital Phenomena by Anthony Mara. Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, Since You've Been Gone, and The Unexpected Everything, all by Morgan Matson. The Necromancer duology, starting with Hold Me Closer, Necromancer, and Necromancing the Stone by Lish McBride. The Vampire Academy series, starting with Vampire Academy, Frostbite, Shadow Kiss, Blood Promise, Spirit Bound, and The Last Sacrifice, all by Rochelle Mead. Collected Poems of Edna St. Vincent Millay. Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained by John Milton. The Night Circus by Aaron Morgenstern. The Chaos Walking trilogy, starting with The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answer, and Monsters of Men. The Crane Wife, A Monster Calls, More Than This, and The Rest of Us Just Live Here, all by Patrick Ness. The Heartbreakers by Ali Novak, 1984, and Animal Farm by George Orwell. The Anna and the French Kiss trilogy, starting with Anna and the French Kiss, Lola and the Boy Next Door, and Isla and the Happily Ever After, all by Stephanie Perkins. My True Love Gave to Me, 12 Holiday Stories by various authors. Summer Days and Summer Nights, 12 Love Stories by various authors, both edited by Stephanie Perkins. Trouble by Non Pratt. Ms. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. Then we have the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series, starting with The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian. Then we have the Heroes of Olympus series, starting with The Lost Hero, The Son of Neptune, The Mark of Athena, The House of Hades, and The Blood of Olympus. The Trials of Apollo series, the first book, The Hidden Oracle, then The Lightning Thief graphic novel, The Sea of Monsters graphic novel, The Titan's Curse graphic novel, and the Lost Hero graphic novel, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Ultimate Guide, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Demigod Files, The Demigod Diaries, Demigods and Magicians, Percy Jackson's Greek Gods, and Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes, all by Rick Riordan. The Divergent trilogy, starting with Divergent, Insurgent, Crap Bag, also known as Allegiant, and 4, all by Veronica Roth. Attachments, Carry On, Eleanor and Park, Barnes & Noble Collector's Edition, Fangirl, Fangirl Indigo Collector's Edition, Fangirl Collector's Edition, Fangirl Barnes & Noble Collector's Edition, and Landline, all by Rainbow Rowell. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone Illustrated Edition. And then we have the Harry Potter series, starting with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Then we have the Hogwarts Library, made up of Quidditch Through the Ages, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and the Tales of the Beetle Bard, all by J.K. Rowling. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Ilir Sayans, The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold, Between Shades of Grey, and Salt to the Sea, both by Ruta Sepetys, Schizo by Nick Sheff, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Vampires, The Myths, Legends, and Lore by Aubrey Sherman, The Drowning of Arthur Braxton by Caroline Smales, 100 Sideways Miles, and Winger, both by Andrew Smith. Then we have the series of unfortunate events, starting with The Bad Beginning, The Reptile Room, The Wide Window, The Miserable Mill, The Austere Academy, The Ersatz Elevator, The Vile Village, The Hostile Hospital, The Carnivorous Carnival, The Slippery Slope, The Grim Grotto, The Penultimate Peril, and The End, all by Lemony Snicket. Three Theban plays, Antigone, Oedipus the King, and Oedipus of Colonus by Sophocles. The Starbound trilogy, starting with These Broken Stars, This Shattered World, and Their Fractured Life by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. Dracula by Bram Stoker, We Should Hang Out Sometime by Josh Sundquist, An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, The Geek's Guide to Unrequited Love by Sarvanas Tash, Because You'll Never Meet Me by Leah Thomas, The Wrong Side of Right by Jen Marie Thorne, A Man Without a Country, Armageddon in Retrospect, Breakfast of Champions, Cat's Cradle, Galapagos, God Bless You Dr. Kevorkian, God Bless You Mr. Rosewater, If This Isn't Nice, What Is, Jailbird, Mother Night, Player Piano, The Sirens of Titan, Slapstick, Slaughterhouse 5, and Welcome to the Monkey House, all by Kurt Vonnegut. We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach, The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton, My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Warga, The Martian by Andy Weir, The Ugly series, starting with The Uglies, The Pretties, The Specials, and The Others, all by Scott Westerfeld, Highly Illogical Behavior by John Corey Whaley, The Importance of Being Earnest, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Barnes & Noble Leatherbound Edition, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Barnes & Noble Pop Culture Edition, all by Oscar Wilde, The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey, Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon, and The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, Watchmen by Alan Moore, A Death in the Family, War Games Outbreak, War Games Tide, War Games Endgame, Red Hood, The Lost Days, Under the Red Hood, Batman and Son, The Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, Battle for the Cowl, Batman Reborn, Batman vs. Robin, Batman and Robin Must Die, World's Finest, Bruce Wayne, The Road Home, Little Gotham Volume 1, Little Gotham Volume 2, Batman and Robin Born to Kill, Batman and Robin Pearl, Batman and Robin Requiem for Damien, Batman Eternal Volume 1, Batman Eternal Volume 2, Batman Eternal Volume 3, and Robin Son of Batman Volume 1, Year of Blood. Through the Woods, stories by Emily Carroll, Lost at Sea, the Scott Pilgrim series, starting with Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Scott Pilgrim and the Infinite Sadness, Scott Pilgrim Gets It Together, Scott Pilgrim vs. the Universe, and Scott Pilgrim's Finest Hour, and Seconds, all by Brian Lee O'Malley. Then we have our ongoing Lumberjanes series, starting with Beware the Kitten Holy, Friendship to the Max, A Terrible Plan, and Out of Time. And finally, Nimona, all at least in part by Noelle Stevenson. Pretty much like with my graphic novels, all of my comic books are in chronological order rather than alphabetical or by author. Batman Cataclysm, Huntress Spoiler Special, Blunt Trauma. Young Justice Secret Origins, 80-page giant. Robin Nature's Bride, 80-page giant. Batgirl number 20, Spoiled. Batgirl 26, Batgirl 53, Batgirl and Robin. Batgirl 62, Beyond the Realms of Death. Robin Spoiler Special. Batgirl number 4, Batgirl number 5, Batgirl number 7, Batgirl number 9, Batgirl number 10, Batgirl number 11, Batgirl number 22, Batgirl number 24, Convergence, Batgirl number 1, Convergence, Batgirl number 2, Convergence, Batman and Robin number 1, Convergence, Batman and Robin number 2, Batgirl Future's End, DC Rebirth, The Flash Rebirth number 1, Green Lantern's Rebirth number 1, Titans Rebirth number 1, Nightwing Rebirth number 1, Batman Rebirth number 1, Batman Rebirth number 2, Batman Rebirth number 3, Detective Comics Rebirth number 934, Detective Comics Rebirth number 935, and last but not least, Detective Comics Rebirth number 936. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!